Russian senior military leaders recently had conversations to discuss when and how Moscow might use tactical nuclear weapons in Ukraine, contributing to heightened concern in Washington and allied capitals, according to multiple senior American officials. President Vladimir Putin was not a part of the conversations, which were held against the backdrop of Russia's intensifying nuclear rhetoric and battlefield setbacks. But the fact that senior Russian military leaders were even having the discussions alarmed the Biden administration because it showed how frustrated Russian generals were about their failures on the ground, and suggests that Putin's veiled threats to use nuclear weapons might not just be words. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes what are the tactical nukes which Putin is threatening to use. Let's get started. This video is sponsored by NordVPN. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. Use the code DEFENSE at the checkout to get an extra month free for the 2-year plan. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. A tactical nuclear weapon, TNW, or non-strategic nuclear weapon, NSNW, is a nuclear weapon that's designed to be used on a battlefield in military situations, mostly with friendly forces in proximity and perhaps even on contested friendly territory. Generally smaller in explosive power, they're defined in contrast to strategic nuclear weapons, which are designed mostly to be targeted at the enemy interior, far away from the warfront, against military bases, cities, towns, arms industries, and other hardened or larger area targets to damage the enemy's ability to wage war. No tactical nuclear weapon has ever been used in a combat situation. Tactical nuclear weapons include gravity bombs, short-range missiles, artillery shells, landmines, depth charges, and torpedoes which are equipped with nuclear warheads. Also in this category are nuclear-armed, ground-based, or shipborne surface-to-air missiles. There's no exact definition of the tactical category in terms of the range or yield of the nuclear weapon. Some experts define this as being in the range of 0.3 to 50 kilotons of TNT, while others put the upper limit of 50 kilotons of TNT. A strategic nuclear weapon typically has a yield from 100 kilotons to over a megaton, with much larger warheads available. For comparison, Little Boy atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima had a yield of 15 kilotons of TNT, and the Fat Man atomic bomb that was detonated over Nagasaki had a yield of 21 kilotons of TNT. Some nuclear devices have a so-called dial-a-yield feature that effectively limits the extent of the nuclear reaction in the physics package at the warhead's core when the weapon detonates. For example, a few variants of the American B-61 family of nuclear bombs can be set to as low as 0.3 kilotons, though they have a max power of 400 kilotons of TNT. The Pentagon estimates that Russia has a stockpile of as many as 2,000 tactical nuclear weapons, which are designed to be used on battlefields to overwhelm conventional forces. Russia has several delivery options. 1. Employ strike aircraft or bombers to drop the nuke from the air. Tu-160 Blackjack, which is the largest combat aircraft in the world, can be engaged for this kind of mission. 2. Use surface-to-surface missiles like Iskander-M. The Iskander-M is a mobile, short-range, surface-to-surface ballistic missile system produced and deployed by Russia. It's intended to use conventional or nuclear warheads for the engagement of small and area targets, both moving and stationary. Iskander-M system is equipped with 2 solid-propellant, single-stage guided missiles. Model 9M723K1. The Iskander-M can carry 800 kilograms, or about 1,760 pounds warhead, and has a range of 500 kilometers or 310 miles. 3. Deploy cruise missiles like Caliber from warships or submarines. The land attack variant of the missile is equivalent to the American Tomahawk cruise missile in many parameters, such as range, warhead, and propulsion. It has a 2,500-kilometer or 1,554 miles range, a 450-kilogram or 1,000-pound warhead, and a turbofan engine. Similar to Tomahawk, it has a speed of Mach 0.8. When Russia started its campaign against Ukraine on the 24th of February, many experts predicted that they would roll over the Ukrainian forces and occupy most of the country in 1 to 2 weeks. But this hasn't happened, and Ukraine has even liberated back thousands of square miles from Russian occupation. More than 60,000 Russian troops, along with a significant number of senior military leaders, have lost their lives. The Russian military has also suffered huge losses of aircraft, helicopters, tanks, and missiles, and is now having to acquire arms from Iran. Putin also had to order partial mobilization. There are clear signs of strain in the Russian power circle, and internal dynamics are getting complex. So there's a lot of pressure on the Kremlin. The lowest threshold for use of nuclear weapons by Russia is disputed by experts. There's no escaping the fact that Russia has tactical nukes in pretty large numbers and also has suitable delivery options. Precision guidance, coupled with this low-yield warhead, which will also produce less radioactive fallout, make these weapons more flexible and usable when compared to strategic nukes. American officials said they had currently seen no evidence that the Russians were moving nuclear weapons into place or taking other tactical measures to prepare for a strike, but there is growing concern. William J. Burns, the CIA director, has previously said that Putin's potential desperation to extract a victory in Ukraine and setbacks in the war could lead Russia to use one. John F. Kirby, a National Security Council official, declined to comment on the particulars of this reporting, but added, "We've been clear from the outset that Russia's comments about the potential use of nuclear weapons are deeply concerning, and we take them seriously." Kirby said, "We continue to monitor this as best we can, and we see no indications that Russia is making preparations for such use." Hopefully, saner minds will prevail and we won't witness this kind of situation.
Subscribe for more videos like this. Hit the like button if you find the video interesting, and kindly provide your feedback in the comment section. This will help us improve.